Okay, everybody, I'm showing you my face right now, which I'm totally aware that it looks fucked up. This is my left eye. Now, the swelling on my left eye, in reference to the redness and the puffiness, it was out to here yesterday. Okay, it went down dramatically overnight. Now, the pus that's up in here is going down into my cheek. Okay, it's also coming out of the corner of my eye. So what I'm trying to say is that the left eye looked a lot worse yesterday. I'll let you know what happened in a second, so look at it. Now, also what you want to pay attention to is that on the top here is all scarred up, and on the side as well. Okay, now the right eye started appearing yesterday. Okay, I was in a bike accident. Massive concussion, multiple contusions. Okay, now the reason why I'm making this video is I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me carefully, because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression pertaining to the motive of my following statements. I have received text messages and mail from the gang stalking perpetrators that my Social Security will be taken away. Okay, so go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? And they have hacked into that blog. Now, understand, one of the huge when you look in that blog, you will see multiple videos of individuals getting around me every day, everywhere I go, and repeating gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird. You know what they're doing now? They're placing people to get around me, like at Ralph's. I'll sit in the little cubby area that's dedicated to, like, when you buy something at the deli and you want to go and you want to eat it, they'll have this like little dining area where people will sit and eat their food or use their computers or whatever. Well, I've been avoiding UCSD because they're staging events at the library and then using those events to ban me. Okay, so I've been using the internet service at Ralph's because I go shopping there practically all the time. So you know what they're doing? They're placing men to sit across from me and or next to me, and as they're talking, they'll say, suck my dick. Okay, now they're doing this because at my last hiking area, I'm hiking in California, I was making videos at that hiking area about how they're saying gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, suck my dick. So what they do is they'll sensitize the target to a specific word, phrase, physical gesture, or sound. You can go to Google and type in sensitization methods and gang stalking. In fact, there's an example on the internet right now about what they were doing to this guy named Joe, about how his fellow employees at work would call him crazy, demented, weird, and then as they were doing it, they would cough. Now, this was done to mentally harass him and to sensitize him to these words, okay, and the sounds of the coughs. Just go to Google and type in sensitization methods and coughing, sensitization methods and repeating words and phrases. Now, why would they do this? Just hear me out. In gang stalking, the sensitization methods are where they will pair, like a pair of shoes, pair of socks. They will take two things and sensitize the target to these two things. Excuse me. Like, say if I'm sitting in front of you right now and I'm calling you a fucking bitch and then coughing. And then say if everywhere you go, people are walking around you, walking by you, sitting around you, it all depends on where you're at, and they're saying fucking bitch and then coughing. And then you experience this every day, everywhere you go, you're going to become sensitive to it because you're hearing it. Okay, and you start to become aware as a result of how often you're hearing it that it's being done intentionally. They want you to notice it. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll say these words like weird, crazy, gang stalk, oh my god, suck my dick, and then cough as they're doing it. Now, this is done because they know that everybody coughs. Everybody coughs. Okay, that way, once they have you sensitized to, see, because every time you're called a fucking bitch, you have a mental reaction to it, and you also have an emotional response to it. That's what they want. It's called brain entrainment. Okay, that's what sensitization methods is all about. They train your thinking to respond to the harassment. It's called gaslighting as well, where they will fuel, gas, light, ignite, okay, a mental response based on the harassment that you're enduring, okay, and they will pair a word, a phrase, a sound to the harassment, okay. Hold on. in order to make you sensitive to these words, phrases, and sounds. That way, like say if for 90 days they got around this guy and they coughed and called him demented as they were coughing, called him crazy as they were coughing, called him weird, okay, and said whatever other words as they were coughing. What they're doing is intentionally anchoring these mental responses to the harassment, to the words and the coughing. Then once they know that they got him sensitized to it, they will then stop saying the words and just cough. That way, whenever he is at work, working with the people that did this to him, and they cough, he'll remember it. That way, when he leaves work and goes about his day, he knows he's also experienced this along his routes. Okay, that's right, because that's how GangStalking operates. So that way, even when just a regular person, like say if he went into a Starbucks to get some coffee, anybody in that Starbucks will cough, he will automatically remember and think that this person is doing it intentionally, because he's been sensitized. The mental response has been created and reinforced. Now, these are the mental harassment schemes of GangStalking. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that what they were doing at my last camping area is they were yelling from a distance, "Gangstalk, oh my God, Gangstalk, oh my God, suck my dick." Okay, then they started doing it along my routes, saying "suck my dick, Gangstalk." Okay, now they believe that since that "suck my dick" has been anchored to the gangstalking, they dropped, which means they have taken away into now what they're doing is placing people along my routes just to say "suck my dick," because they know that phrase, as vile and disgusting as it is, has already been mentally associated to gangstalking, because when they were sensitizing me to it, they were saying gangstalk. Just like what they were doing with Joe. They would call him weird and demented as they coughed. Once they had created a mental response to the because what it basically is they're anchoring association and mentally anchoring it in his mind that he's being mentally harassed and called names. And as these things were being anchored, coughing became associated to it, because they would intentionally cough. They would say, "He's weird, he's demented." And then they would repeat this every day, everywhere he went. Not only at work, but also everywhere he went. Then once they knew they had him sensitized to this, they would stop using the words and then just cough. And that would automatically mentally... That's like, do you ever have a favorite song? Okay. And that's because the song is related to an event, like a romantic experience or whatever, and the song will stimulate a memory of something. Same concept. Okay, the stimuli is what they sensitize you to. That way, whenever the stimuli is represented, you will have the memory will be stimulated. This is the mental harassment of sensitization methods of gangstalking. So what they're doing at Ross now is just having men sit around me, just old men, disgusting men, young punks, and they'll sit around me, and another thing they're also doing is they're also getting people along my routes to make wild physical gestures with their hands, constantly doing this, just making, reaching out their arms and doing and waving their arms and shit like that. And I have read other target individuals' blogs that they're doing that to them as well. That's done, like, cause say if you're sitting there and you're using your computer and you're trying to focus on your computer screen, they'll wait until you sit down, or they'll arrive, like if they learn your regular routes pertaining to where you're going, they'll even place these freaks to be inside the routes before I arrive. That's done through the tracking, stalking, and observation of the target, the covert tracking. If they just basically deduce, well, she's headed this way based on all the other days pertaining to where she's went as a result of her taking these previous routes, then we can easily deduce that there's a great likelihood. Basically, they learn your habits and your routes. So they'll place these men to be in the routes before I arrive. That way, if an incident occurs, they can say, well, how can they be stalking you, Leslie? They were here before you got here. This is done through the tracking of the target and learning the target's regular routes and routines. Just like if an ex-spouse knows where you work at and he decides to stalk you after you've broken up with him, he knows the routes you take to get to work. Do you understand? Same concept. So what they'll do is they'll place these men to be inside the routes before I arrive, or they'll come in after I arrive, and they'll just deduce how many open seats are left pertaining to, well, we know she's coming here, we know what she's going to do when she gets here, we see that there's only one table left, so we'll sit at this one. When she comes, she'll sit at that one, and she's forced to see us, and then she's also forced to hear us. And this is done, suck my dick. They'll literally be talking and having a conversation like they're talking about something, and as they're talking, they will interrupt this sequential flow of conversation and say suck my dick within it, and then continue the conversation. This is literally the methods of gang stalking, ladies and gentlemen. So it's called sensitization method and also the direct conversation tactics, so Google it. Now, why did I bring all this up? As a result of them sending me text messages and even repeating along my routes, does she really think she's going to keep her Social Security because I'm being reviewed right now? I have caught gang stalk, oh my God, being said at Social Security. It's the same exact identical verbal harassment I caught along all my routes. So they're threatening to take away my Social Security. Now, why am I bringing this up in relation to my face and the bike accident? The bike I was using, the brake pads wore out. And I was literally preparing to buy some at Walmart before the review started. I'm being reviewed right now. Then when I got the notification in the mail that I'm being reviewed, I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll just start using the bike in a way to where if I'm going downhill, I'll just get off the bike and walk it, okay? And then just not get the brake pads until this review is taken care of. But the other day when I went and did my laundry, I took a route home that I never take. And so I got on the sidewalk and I started using my bike, and I didn't realize how this hill was going to be steep like it was, and then there was also a curve that was not a ramp curve. It was an actual elevated curve. Ran right into it and went flying off my bike. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I don't know if people are going to say, well, now she's blaming a bike accident on gang stalking. Absolutely. And I don't give two shits about how anybody perceives my statements. I know my thinking and why I do what I do because I know what I experience from these filthy rat-ass whores on a daily basis. I know how they have affected every aspect of my life, the things that they have caused. And in closing, let me just give you an example of these little filthy rat-ass whores. Go to Google and type in how they will stage vehicle accidents of a target. Go to Google and type in how they will have a target raped, how they will have a target assaulted. Okay? So if you don't think that these little filthy rat-ass whores are not causing and creating detrimental things to happen to a target already, think again. Okay? The point being is that they intentionally, covertly destroy every aspect of your life. As a result of you being caught up in the circumstances of the effects of what they do, you have to watch every penny. And if they're sending you threatening text messages that they're going to take you off of Social Security, then you're absolutely going to watch every single penny you got. Okay? I was trying to make it home with my laundry before it got dark. So I thought to myself, well, I got to make it home before it gets dark because I can get mugged once I reach my camping area if it's dark out. Okay? So I thought to myself, well, okay, I'll chance it and I'll get on my bike. I went down this hill. I didn't anticipate a curve that was not going to be ramped. You know how some curbs are ramped? This one wasn't. And no brakes. I went flying, and now you're seeing what's happening to me. You know, I don't know how you're going to perceive this or what you're going to think, but all you have to do is think to yourself this way. Hang on. If you think you're going to be laid off from work, then you're going to start deliberating what can be put off and what can't. Same concept. Okay? I should have never been on that bike to begin with. They have literally staged at least 3 known vehicle accidents that caused me to lose my cars. Okay? So when you look at my face, okay, I want you to look at my face. I want you to look at it and see what has happened to me because of the effects of gang stalking, the circumstances that were created from it. I want you to look at my face. Okay, I could have died. Okay, I ended up with a concussion and multiple contusions. Okay? And I had to call the San Diego Police and the San Diego Fire Department Rescue to come and get me. Now, I've been exposing their asses all over the internet. Do you have any idea what that's like to depend on the people, okay, that are directly connected to the gang stalking of you, asking them for help? Do you have any idea what that's like? Alright, thanks for listening. Have a good day.